Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful week. The month of April is over. We saw beautiful blooms and amazing wildlife, just colors everywhere. Unlike May, we've had lousy weather so far, but that's a circle of life, and that's living in Texas. We had to celebrate the end of April with a happy hour. On Friday night, Dave and I decided to go to our neighborhood Tequila bar. They serve happy hour drinks, specials, and delicious appetizers. I love their guacamole. And we also ordered some queso with carne asada. It was really good. The next day, we walked over to our community center where they were holding an arts and crafts fair. We decided to bring home some plants, and Dave got sourdough bread. There's always something going on in our neighborhood, so we like to go and check it out and meet our neighbors and friends. We had a great weekend. The weather was perfect. It was a beautiful end to April. But May started out with a storm. We got ready for the wind and the storm by covering up my car with a special hail protection cover. And then the storm came, and it was crazy as usual and loud.
It's a good little storm. Gotta get a little river flowing down the street.
Ah!
That was close.
All that lightning and thunder made us a little hungry, so I made some enchiladas using our leftover pork and put cheese, sour cream, and onion, and it turned out really good. The next day, the storm was gone, so Dave and I went out. He was on his bike, and I took the dogs for a walk. What is it? It rained, and then it stopped, and then the wind blew, and then it stopped. Pretty much all week, it was stormy. Hello again, everyone. Hope you had a nice week. We had rain and thunder and lightning, and these dogs barely had a chance to go outside. In between, when it stopped raining, we did walk the dogs, and we just checked out the beautiful scenery with all the flowers and all the animals and birds. But for the most part, we had to stay indoors while it was raining and stormy. So last week I showed you how to do coloring book art for adults. This week I wanted to show you what you can do instead, especially if you're a beginner and you'd like to try art. Decide to practice with recyclables. So you have empty bottles laying around, wine bottles, spaghetti sauce bottles, vinegar bottles. Why don't you paint those bottles and see if you might like it? All you need is acrylic paint, some acrylic gesso if you want to paint it white. If you have little stickers laying around, use those. Anything that you can find, you can use for your art. After washing and drying your bottle, you're going to go ahead and take off the peel. If you can, sometimes it's hard, so you're just going to have to cover it up with acrylic gesso. I couldn't find my paintbrushes, so I just grabbed this little baster from the kitchen. I found this in the garage, and I know that it's touch-up paint for the walls. I normally would paint my bottles with white acrylic gesso, but since there's none and the weather's not good outside and I don't want to go to the store, let's just see what happens if you paint this bottle with whatever random colors you have. I also have a bunch of acrylic paints, but I know acrylic, if you don't have the gesso base, will just melt through your painting. So let's try this. This one is built to go on walls, and let's just see what it's like. Not bad. So I'll just cover the entire bottle with this paint. Make sure the paint is thoroughly dry. Now you can add acrylics. Dave got me flowers for Mother's Day, but the flowers are starting to dry up, so I'm going to use it as a paintbrush. Feel free to experiment and use what you have on hand. I used a little flower, but you can also use other items such as Q-tips and cotton balls. My girlfriend Irma and I would always talk about painting, and she would use twigs and branches to help her paint. I'm just trying this out, but I know that I might change it a couple of times. It's just interesting to experiment and see what works best for your painting. While the bottle was drying up, I still had a lot of paint, so I grabbed this can that came from an edible arrangement left over, and I didn't throw it away, so I just wanted to see what I can do with this can. If not, I was just gonna throw it away. My acrylic paints were starting to dry up because I've had them for a while, so I was just going to try to use them all, and that way they're put to good use before I have to throw them away. And I can always go back to Walmart or Target or Hobby Lobby to get some more paints. I've seen them also at the Dollar Tree, so wherever you can find cheap paints, it's good to experiment. And it's a fun activity to do with your kids. I would paint jars, and I would also paint wine bottles, soda bottles, soy sauce bottles. It's fun, and it's easy, and it's also convenient. Sometimes you have old art that's no longer cute or relevant. You can paint that too. Once the acrylic dries, you can then add other items to it, such as stickers or beads, buttons. You can use it while the paint's still wet and stick them on there. If you're not happy, you can always wash the acrylic with water because that just washes off and then you have a clean slate again. I wasn't too happy with what I did. I mean, it was fine, but I wanted to experiment and try other patterns to it. So I ended up erasing it, and I used markers, I used other things as well. So I changed my mind on the design of this bottle, and I kind of like what I did, but then I erased it. So this is what I started doing with this bottle. I'm just making yellow squiggly lines, or more like little circular imperfect circles, with some of them landing on the green circles. So it's kind of an abstract, and I think it would look cool. But for now, in my head, I'm seeing this, and I kind of like it. So instead of a paintbrush, I'm using this dried up pen because it has more precision and I can control it more. I think I can do it with a paintbrush too, but I think this is something I'm comfortable holding. So let's see. Then I changed my mind again, and I ended up doing flowers. You can get so carried away with all this painting that sometimes you forget to eat or take a break or drink some water. So make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're not skipping too many meals, and make sure you're eating right. It was getting late and I was getting tired, so I quit for the evening and let my paint dry. I'm going to varnish it in the morning. See you then. In the morning, I let the dogs out and I say hi to the bunnies, make sure the dogs are fed, and I go back to my painting. Where's that bogobo? Once you're done with your painting, it's very important to seal it so that it doesn't bleed or fade or get washed out because it's water soluble. So I use this varnish. I had another one that I normally use, but I ran out and I didn't want to go to the store. So I'm just going to use this varnish to seal my painting. Make sure to dab it because some pens or markers fade or run, so you don't want to ruin your painting. So you just want to dab it on those. But if I were you, I would check with the store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, because they'll let you know which varnish to use. And once the varnish is still wet, that's when I add little stickers. I have little like colorful bead stickers that stick out, made of plastic. They're so cute, and I think I got them from the dollar store. So I'm gonna put that on my bottle, and that will be my project. When this is dry, it'll be perfect, and I can put flowers in it or incense sticks or even just a decoration. Well, hope you like my project. Have a great week, everyone. Stay dry and happy Mother's Day. See you next time. Take care.